In a world dominated by screens, cameras, and digital footprints, privacy has become a luxury, a relic of the past. Today, every click, every message, and every interaction leaves a trace. But what does it mean to live in a society where transparency outweighs secrecy and convenience overshadows confidentiality? The trade-off between privacy and connectivity is one of the defining challenges of our time, with roots in technology, history, and human psychology. The debate about privacy versus progress is not new. In 1890, American lawyers Louis Brandeis and Samuel Warren wrote about the right to privacy, calling it the right to be let alone. Their essay was a reaction to invasive journalism and the rise of the camera, a technology that threatened personal boundaries for the first time. Fast forward to today, where cameras are not just handheld tools but embedded everywhere, on our phones, in our homes, and even on our streets. The implications? An ever-watching society where the boundaries between public and private blur into obscurity. Today, governments and corporations have access to surveillance capabilities that past totalitarian regimes could only dream of. For instance, China's social credit system tracks citizens' behaviors, rewarding compliance and punishing dissent. In London, the average person is caught on CCTV over 300 times a day. These technologies promise security but raise unsettling questions about control and freedom. Consider the convenience we've gained. Smart devices remind us of appointments, suggest the fastest routes, and anticipate our needs before we voice them. But these perks come with a cost: data. Every preference we share, every behavior we exhibit, is collected, analyzed, and often monetized. Philosopher Shoshana Zuboff calls this the age of surveillance capitalism, a system where personal data is a commodity. Here's an unsettling fact: Google tracks your movements even when location history is turned off. In 2018, an Associated Press investigation found that Google services on both Android and iPhone devices stored location data, even after users disabled the feature. This means that opting out often doesn't mean true privacy, it just means you are less aware of how much is being collected. And it's not just corporations. Governments worldwide have expanded mass surveillance programs in the name of security. The US National Security Agency, NSA, was exposed by Edward Snowden in 2013 for its massive data collection programs, spying on citizens and world leaders alike. The scandal revealed that digital privacy was not just at risk, it had already been compromised. Philosophers like Michel Foucault warned us of this reality long ago. His concept of the panopticon, a hypothetical prison designed so inmates felt constantly observed, resonates eerily in our digital age. The panopticon wasn't about actual surveillance, but the idea of being watched, conditioning behavior, and fostering self-censorship. Today, we live in a digital panopticon where every post, every comment, and every photo is scrutinized, not just by others, but by algorithms designed to predict and influence our actions. Research suggests that constant surveillance leads to increased anxiety, self-censorship, and a decline in creativity. A study from the University of Oxford found that people who believe they are being watched online tend to express fewer controversial opinions, even if those opinions are harmless. And here's something even more startling. A 2016 study by researchers at the University of California found that knowing you're under surveillance affects decision-making. People become more risk-averse and conformist. In other words, surveillance doesn't just track behavior, it shapes behavior. This raises a deeper question: what does it mean to be human in a world without privacy? Philosopher Hannah Arendt spoke of the need for a private realm, a space where individuals could retreat, reflect, and develop their authentic selves. Without such spaces, she argued, human dignity is at risk. Privacy allows us to experiment, to fail, and to grow without fear of judgment. In a fully transparent society, do we lose the freedom to simply be? Privacy also connects to existential philosophy. Thinkers like Soren Kierkegaard emphasized the importance of individuality and inward reflection. A life that is constantly on display risks becoming performative, driven by external validation rather than internal authenticity. In our quest for connection, are we losing the solitude necessary for self-discovery and meaningful thought? Yet, paradoxically, many of us willingly surrender our privacy. Why? Convenience, connection, and the illusion of safety. Social media platforms reward us with likes and followers, creating a dopamine-fueled cycle that encourages oversharing. Philosopher Jean Baudrillard might argue that we are trapped in hyperreality, a world where the line between what is real and what is constructed becomes blurred. Our digital personas often overshadow our true selves, leading to a society where appearances matter more than substance. Think about this. Facebook admitted in 2014 that it conducted a secret psychological experiment on nearly 700,000 users by manipulating their news feeds to see how it affected their emotions. The study proved that social media platforms don't just reflect reality, they shape it. At the heart of the privacy debate lies a fundamental philosophical tension. Is transparency inherently good? Some argue that openness fosters accountability and trust. If everyone's actions are visible, deception becomes harder, and equality seems more achievable. But others counter that privacy is essential for personal growth and authenticity. Without the ability to retreat from the gaze of others, can we truly understand ourselves? Even more concerning is the rise of AI-powered surveillance. Governments are now using predictive policing, artificial intelligence models that analyze data to predict crimes before they happen. While this might sound like science fiction, it is already being used in cities like Chicago and Los Angeles. The danger? These systems reinforce biases, disproportionately targeting marginalized communities. And then there's facial recognition. In 2020, a study by MIT found that popular facial recognition software misidentified Black and Asian individuals up to 100 times more often than white individuals. This raises the question, if privacy dies, will fairness and justice die with it? This philosophical lens challenges